Your thoughts on Chelsea?
Yeah, hi, good night, and good night to all the guests, and good night to all the viewers and your listeners and followers. Well, the thing is, I mean, clearly we are in a extremely difficult position at the moment. I mean, we're currently 10th on the table, and I think the part of the problem has been that Sterling has not yet settled, and I think he hasn't yet found that rhythm with the team in terms of maybe a consistent striking partner. You know, I mean, they've been, doing some rotations in that regard, but I think he really needs that support. If you think back to the Dwight York and the Cole type of partnership where there was that synergy, I don't think Raheem has found that yet in his move. And I mean, we are hoping with the match tomorrow. I mean, it being a home game and our record at home at least is pretty good. And even our record historically against City is pretty good. But the fact of the matter is that there will be nerves in Sterling because, I mean, he's now facing his former club. You know, there are expectations heavy on his shoulders. But I mean, I am hoping that he will pull through first tomorrow and that he will get some support, from Havertz and Pulisic and, a couple of the others who will hopefully, and if Mount is able to, be there and give some support, we are hoping that we could overcome, I mean, what is a major challenge that we face tomorrow. But, I mean, overall in the league, we are not in a good place at all. And I think there's been a level of complacency in the team and a lack of that cohesiveness, working as a unit. So I think those have been our major problems. Of course, coupled with our lack of finishing, we've had opportunities and have not been able to finish.
Do you feel that Graham Potter, the manager, who some are saying now is under pressure, should he lose tomorrow, can you see him losing his job?
Well, I mean, the thing is, we've been going through the cycle, I mean, we changed managers, late last year. Now, I mean, I am hoping that he gets a chance maybe to prove himself because, to change a manager again at this point, I'm not sure it necessarily does good for the team morale, unless you bring in, an extremely big name heavyweight who is going to really inspire confidence immediately. I mean, that's what Mourinho was able to do when he came to Chelsea, but unless you get somebody of that type of caliber who could immediately, bring that turnaround, I'm not sure that change in Potter, if he loses tomorrow, is necessarily going to resolve the issue. So we really have to wait and see how it pans out in that regard.
Which fans irritated the most? Why and why? Quickly.
But I mean, I think the world would agree that it's Man U fans. I mean, there's no question about that. You take a poll around the world globally, everybody's going to be united on that score to say it's Man U people. We know.
All right.
I mean, I know a couple who are close to me, but when it comes to football, very far, very distant.
Question 1. Is your football resolution for 2023 one of these? All right, let's go. My team to win the league, my team to buy new players, my team to be fairly treated by referees, my manager to leave, my captain to leave, Harry Maguire, no, sorry. People to leave me and my team alone, and none of the above. So let me start with Martin George first. Mr. George, let me start with you first. Which one of those resolutions, or if you have another one related to football?
Now, the thing is this being granted by a genie or somebody who could grant any kind of wish?
Well,
if that is the case.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell if it's a genie or... Anyway. I'm going to say another word, but another word close to genie.
The first one looks very attractive, but it's not realistic.
Yes.
Really and truly. And in terms of managers, as I said, I'm not sure that I necessarily would want to make that change right now. I would still want to give Potter a little more time to, get his feet, in the job. So I think it would really be the one with getting some more players. I think we definitely would need to get some more strength to the team, particularly to our front line.
When you hear people say there's too much football being played, what comes to your mind? Really? Anyway, my family is talking. My boss at work is on again. Stop complaining and get to like sport. Wait. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Their team losing, so they vex. Ignorance is bliss for some. All right, today it is. Let's hear you, Martin George. Which one for you?
Well, I would certainly agree with Keston. I think that, we have to be magnanimous and benevolent, even with those who are, struggling with the darkness of ignorance.
Oh, Lord.
We need to show them the light and guide them along the way. And we need to be gentle and still, kind with it. So we ask for forgiveness for them and hope that one day they will see the light of day.
All right. Since the World Cup, which one of these things that is continuing has surprised you? The debate over the best player, the fact that PSG is losing, the number of goals being scored in the English Premier League, LaLiga, the case may be, some of the World Cup players look better for club than country, how few of the Argentines have returned to work in football, and how much the French fans are still complaining. Martin George, which one for you?
Definitely F, because I think that it's very disingenuous the way that people have tried to portray the achievements of Lionel Messi as compared and contrasted to what Pele would have achieved. You look at the time when Pele would have, risen to the heights of the football world. You consider the forces he would have been up against, the struggles he would have faced, and still to overcome that and to be hailed as the greatest. I think, as good as Lionel Messi is, you certainly cannot even begin to have that debate. And, it has expanded even with some people resurrecting the ghost of Maradona, Mr. Hand of God, who, of course, was a very influential player and, of course, a pivotal force in the game. But at the end of the day, when you think of the worldwide impact of a player, the way that Pele actually brought the game to the fore, not just in the USA, but in several other countries, that impact and effect, I think there's absolutely no comparison. So I think the debate is specious, it's speculative, and it's spurious, and it ought to stop. All right. That's 4 S's.
Sure, I realize all the S's there, except one.